My name is Adrian, and I'll be your tour as we go throughout the museum today. I would like to take this time to welcome you to the National Civil Rights Museum.
It's a Saturday in February in Memphis, Tennessee. It's 2012, and the Utah Jazz have business to take care of against the Memphis Grizzlies. But on this night, the team is at the Lorraine Motel, where on April 4th, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King was killed.
After his assassination, the Lorraine actually fell upon hard times.
The visit to the motel and the Civil Rights Museum is another manifestation of the man who heads this group, Jazz coach Tyrone Corbin.
Well, I thought it was an excellent opportunity to get the guys a chance to get together in a team building education experience for all of them to come out and see some of the history of American history and what people have gone through so that we can share some of the rights that we live with today. To come here and see it firsthand and to walk through the building and to see the hotel room they stay in and to be able to get on the balcony and look across and see.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you.
They talk about him talking in his last speech at the church about speaking about death a lot. So innately he felt something was going to happen soon, but he needed to get the word out.
But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
That he was here to serve a purpose, and he had served his purpose, and it was almost time for him to go home. He wanted to make sure he got all his work done before he left here. Dr. King shared his life so that everybody else could be better. And I think we all have an excellent opportunity to be blessed with a lot of different things, a lot of different avenues to help other folk.
It's not the first time, nor will it be the last time Corbin carves out some time to teach lessons much bigger than basketball.
The interesting thing about it, especially with the young guys and players, is that at times they don't see the significance in it until they actually go through the experience and realize life is more than just basketball and more than just about what they're doing at that time in their lives. So the experience will have more of an impact as they grow on them a little bit.
We feel like this is a very important place in Oklahoma City because it is kind of a pivoting point for our city when we begin to define what we could overcome and what we could deal with as a city and now as a nation. The reflecting pool is where the street stood that morning. The black of the granite represents the pavement of the street. The 901 is the moment before the bomb. 903 is the moment after the bombing. Those frame the moment of 902 when the bomb exploded.
The story of America, and you try and let our guys know and our kids know and people in general that, regardless of what happened to you in life, you're going to face some ups and downs, and a lot of times it's not going to make any sense why things happen, but trust in God and continue to work and believe, and then things will work out for you. In the 50th year anniversary of the passing of President Kennedy, for us to be this close and have an opportunity to bring the group here to get the education, to get ourselves familiar more with who he was as a man and his family value, the service that he served this country, and to build the team to get us a chance to get some knowledge about this country together as a group.
I came here once before in college, but weren't able to stay for a long period of time to really, go through and evaluate it and get a full, broad look at everything. So one of the things that I won't forget for my lifetime.
Police radios are carrying that the president has been hit.
I remember when Mr. Schultz brought it to our attention that the president had been assassinated, how quiet it got in class and how everyone started to cry and just couldn't believe something like that was happening.
I'll remember November the 22nd as long as I live.
It's one of the things that you can pass down to your kids. It's definitely one of the things that I would want to do as a father, to bring my family here, not being so far from this area, that I think that they would need to see as well.
Well, it's about life, especially with this group of guys being so young together. To build experiences like this, and for some it's a life-moving experience for them, and I think these kind of things go a long way with not only building a team but building good young individuals to give them a chance to get educated, to experience some different things in this country as a group, and for the individual value that it brings to them. David? How you doing, buddy? Yeah? Yeah, I see you flexing for the girls. I like it. I think it's our responsibility as folk have gone through it and we're older, and I take a responsibility on myself as a head coach of this team now, along with this organization, to teach these guys the importance of giving back, the importance of the influence that they have of sharing what they are able to enjoy on a day-to-day basis with people who may or may not be as fortunate as they are, but they look up to them because they have a unique talent, and you can use your talent to bring a smile and help someone else have a better day.
This past summer, Corbin and his wife Dante traveled to South Africa as part of the Basketball Without Borders program. There was plenty of basketball for sure, as he coached young players from many African nations.
Pull the ball here and make the layup. Watch, just here, boom, come in here, hold it here, make the layup, and don't miss.
And he made sure the Jazz was well represented.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay. You work hard. You gotta work hard. You got talent, but you gotta work hard. Okay, on both sides. Okay. All right. Good.
But there was more. At the Apartheid Museum in Johannesburg.
I think there was where they were talking about the transfer of from the old way to the new way, and how they were building it up, so they would take a rock from one and put it into the other, so they could, and I may not have the story completely correct, but I thought that was some of the significance of moving a rock from one bin to the other bin.
And impressions of a visit to one of the world's most infamous ghettos.
Just amazing. It's amazing. The kids are super to come on this continent and to get a chance to go around the country in the city of Johannesburg, country South Africa, the city of Johannesburg, and we had a chance to tour Soweto today. The spirit of the people, man, and all they've been through, and especially in Soweto, the lack of some basic necessities, and to see the people still fighting to try and make their lives better. To get a chance to work with these kids, come from all over this continent, to get a chance to see basketball at a different level from kids from all over their continent, in different countries on their continent, and to have a chance to compete against them in basketball, it's just a huge boost for me to know the spirit of kids around the world about basketball and life.
Corbin's community involvement is not a recent passion. It's grounded in his core values. It's who he is.
I think that, when you're blessed with as many blessings that I've been blessed with in my life, and you have been able to see the things that I've been able to see and grow from where I've come from in South Carolina, and you have the opportunity to help and share different opportunities with different people, I think you should take advantage of those. And I've been able to have an influence on some other people's lives, being able to get better by giving back or being a spokesman for different organizations. And it's just a blessing to be involved in those things, to help people. And sometimes it's, going over to somebody who watch games and making them smile, because you never know what they're going through in their life, especially kids, man, to see some of the Make-A-Wish Foundation kids and the things that they're going through on a day-to-day basis, and what their life could or could not become. It's heartbreaking, and so you want to try and do whatever you can to have them enjoy as much as they can enjoy while they're here. Especially in our community here in Salt Lake and the state of Utah, Jazz basketball is huge, and kids watch it from the time they're born, and they can understand basketball on TV till they get older. And the number of adults I see now that grew up watching the Utah Jazz play, and their family life was centered around them getting around the TV and watching the Jazz play. So I think it's important for us as an organization. This organization has always done a tremendous job of sharing those experiences with the players here, to go out in the community, but then to go to the hospital at Christmas time, and some of the families that's going through a tough time with their kid being sick in a hospital, to have them get a smile on their face, or just to be able to at some point get a minute or two away from what they're having to deal with, to enjoy a relaxed time.
When we come back,
my daughter thinks I'm an instigator.